Hello and welcome to the ORB Show. This is Stephen and Gara, and this is the Orb. So, still not getting this thing of voice. I'm still not gonna, I'm not gonna edit this till later on. It's supposed to be like a broadcast, really simple, really basic, really easy to get into. So I guess a couple of things here in the news. Like ICE killed a lady, and of course I find out about that by like people like making excuses for it online. You don't check the news, but you just get straight to the reactions, and it's like, my lord, why are people like ever like happy for a cop to kill somebody? Like your politics are strange when you've gotten to the point that you're like happy that the cops are killing people. Like, or they're not even cops, they just killed a lady. That's pretty crazy. I want to mention a joke here because I'm kind of pissed off. I think I got shadow banned. Or like, I don't know, like no one liked it, but I thought it was pretty funny. The Onion posted something about like a January 6ers still being lost, looking for like Mike Pence's office. And I joked that like, oh, you just paid the tour up there. Like, if you pay a little bit extra, it's like a game reservation to let you take out the feeblest senator, for conservation, I don't know. Maybe there's a better way to phrase it. I don't know. But yeah, that's something I was thinking of. It's just kind of funny thinking about Congress as like game reservation. I also think that's really fucked up. You know what I mean? People who like involve animals in our shit, or like kill animals, and they're like, hey, but I paid you $1 million. It's like, it's weird. Like, why would there ever be some form of like conservation society that could like honestly say they're like supporting these animals when like you're just like pimping out their death at the end of the day? That really pisses me off. Like, like this nice lion that's just like living its life, you can just like sell its murder to fucking Donald Trump Jr. or whatever. And they take a picture of it like, why? What is up with you people? I don't think the conservation people have the right to do that. What sort of like fucking creep ever like had that idea? Also really pisses me off, K9 units. Cops just use them to like abuse and like get like false negatives or false positives on like searches and stuff. Just based on like body language. Sometimes they don't even know that the dog is doing it. The dog is just sort of like reading them. But what pisses me off is like a human being doesn't deserve to be mauled to death by a fucking dog. How is that humane? And the dog doesn't deserve to be like thrown into these situations where it could get fucking shot and killed or whatever. And like how can the cop act like the victim? They like throw these like parades and stuff. Like they like really weep and cry over their dog dying. But it's like, dude, you're an irresponsible like companion to this animal. You like fucking like brainwashed it into like doing anything you say, and then you send it off into like a dangerous environment to maul a dude, and it makes sense that the dude would kill the dog because you don't want a fucking trained German Shepherd fucking killing you, ripping your throat out or whatever. For one, and two, like you're the dick in this situation. Why would you send the dog in before you go in? It's cowardly. I just don't understand it. Like, how is this ever acceptable? Why are people still riding horses when we have cars? Leave the horse alone. It doesn't want to get your fucking ass on it. You weigh too much. It bothers me. These horses are getting like bad backs and stuff. And like people like kill them. Like when they break their legs. Like, it'll never heal right. Well, how do you fucking know? Let it like play it out. Why are you just murdering it because it can't walk for you? It just bugs me, man, how people treat animals in this world. It's like they just like think they can own them, especially if like you can make them loyal to you. They're like, oh, now I can fucking totally dehumanize, or I don't know, dehumanize, degrade you. Bothers me. I really wish people like respected the animal's like choice and will. I don't even like getting like pets and like treating them like a inferior life form or something, like some fucking baby or something. I don't like infantilizing dogs and cats and stuff. Other dogs actually love it when you're like, oh, how you doing? If you sing to your dog, it's like makes its fucking day. And if you dance, they'll either bite you or really be into it. It's one of the two, I guess. I'm trying to think of what else bugs me. Oh yeah, like Free Willy whales and dolphins. Like they're making so much money on these whales and dolphins and stuff. Like, why don't you like give them a bigger habitat? Do they really need this tiny little cage so people can see them? Like, you can find out. There's like, give it like more of a bay or something. Like, do something. And then it's like the fish kills people, and they're like, it was a bad fish. What? You know what I mean? Like, the way we treat animals has always been so fucking stupid and self-serving. It bothers the hell out of me. Like, fish, for the longest time, people are like, oh, they don't have, like, a nervous system or something. They can't feel pain. How does that make any sense? Any being has the capacity to feel pain, or at least feel negative stimuli and positive stimuli, so that it can survive. So, you would reason that it's not very comfortable, that there's some form of discomfort for like the crab, the lobster, the fish, whatever. But like, we're like, oh, it tastes better if you boil them alive. It just, I don't know, man. I mean, where do you go with these emotions, right? Aside from being bothered and knowing you can't really change other people, but what you can do is change yourself and go vegan or whatever. The Orb is a vegan show, by the way. It's fucking hard. You go to these hotels and you get these breakfasts, and like the food is, I haven't slept very well, it's gonna look weird today, but you get the food and there's like, you can only eat potatoes, everything else is like bacon and stuff in it, potatoes and like like an orange that is like, it's like a dodecahedron, it's like got all these bumps in it. It's like no longer round, which disgusts us as the ORB Show. Like what should be round should stay round. If it flattens, dude, get that the fuck out of here. Trying to think of what else I was thinking about. Dolphins, birds clipping their wings. I don't even like getting fish as pets. It's like you consign them to a life of just going in circles all the time. Dude, that sucks. That's a horrible life. It's like prison. Like imprisoning these fish and being like, I named him Jerry, isn't he cute? Like the way we just like create these little hypnoses, these little delusions in our mind that like the way we're treating an animal is cute and fun. It's like so fucking psychotic. What else bothers me? Yeah, birds. I don't understand why people keep birds. You have these things that like want to fly. They have an instinct to fly. They enjoy flying. And you just put them in a cage because they're cute, and then you like make them dependent on you for food or whatever. And then you convince yourself that that's a relationship. No, dude, you're like a fucking like dragon with a fucking princess in a castle. Like there's no real positive to this sort of interaction. You're like really disrespecting the free will of this being. It's really the free will of these animals that's being disrespected, and that bothers me. I'm trying to think of what else I was gonna say here. I'll slap the orb for good luck. I've been writing the weekly orb. I think I might, I don't know, I really don't want to get an Instagram, but I have to market this show somehow, and I don't want to fucking do that, but I can just put it out on other platforms and maybe be successful. I don't know. The weekly Orb is pretty like weird. It's like a column I'm making on Patreon. We're wildly successful. If you haven't heard of it, I'm surprised. But it's out there. Trying to think of what else I am doing. Oh yeah, I'm also making these videos that are like kind of like video poems. I'm like just getting together video and just, you know, whether it's thematically appropriate or whatever, putting in a poem that I've written and doing excuse me. I've been eating a lot. What am I doing? Yeah, and then like making like a music remix or something and like putting it on behind it. It's pretty fun. It's pretty rewarding. Go ahead and check them out. They're like a minute long on my channel. I'm doing that for free. Doing that for free for you. So, you know, hand over the money. Okay, what else am I doing? Well, slapping the over, good luck. You know, decided I'm gonna have to charm my audience. You all aren't, you know, charmed by me yet. We're gonna have to do that. I don't know how. Either dance or sing or... Get another worb in here. No. I was watching True Blood in my hotel, and I've never seen True Blood before. I had no interest in it. My sister's in it, like bought the books and everything. But I always figured it was just sort of like some trashy soap opera thing. But I had this English teacher when I was growing up who was like a really smart guy, really into like, you know, kind of like high literature, you know, very cerebral. And he's like, True Blood's the best show on television. I remember looking at him like sure, dude. But yeah, I don't know. We had HBO in the hotel room, and there's nothing else I wanted to watch. The only other new shows were like Heated Rivalry, which seems like basically another form of True Blood, just some type of like fuck-based content, you know? Not very interested in that. Like, I don't know, at the end of the day, there's like, when a show's just about sex, like, you lose subtext. That's sort of how I felt with True Blood. It just was a show just about sex. Which just like, I don't know, there's like 3 sex scenes in each episode. And I figured maybe in the beginning it was like, okay, maybe in the beginning it's like front loads with like interesting like ideas and details and stuff, like interesting worlds. But you know, this is something that like got my teacher into it, and then like later on it becomes like, you know, more soap opera-y. But no, it starts off exactly like that. And I was thinking like, why would he love this? And I'm thinking, he's an old dude. He's a little bit, you know, maybe he's watching that with his wife, and like she's watching these like sex scenes and stuff, and it's rekindling a little bit of, you know, fire in their bedroom. Maybe he's like, dude, True Blood's the best show. Watch it with your girl, dude. Watch it with your girl. You know? Whatever. But yeah, True Blood, pretty, I don't know, I was trying to see, like, when would Alexander Skarsgård show up? Because I know this was his first role, or his first big role, and I figured, like, okay, I want to see, like, why was he popular in this? Like, why, you know, how would it go? Watched, like, 3 episodes, didn't didn't come. The only thing that happened was like people were horny, and then they fucked, and then they were horny, and then they thought about having sex, and then blah blah. Like that was really it. There's some stuff in the background about like vampires. I don't know, like trying to do like pass a bill or something, and then other guys trying to like stop that, or them getting killed or whatever. I don't know. It was really at the end of the day, it was just like, I don't know if I got too much out of it. And I was in the hotel and it was playing, and it was like all these sex scenes. Like they probably thought I was fucking whacking it in there. My fucking neighbors. I mean, I hope it wasn't I hope there were thick walls. What else here? The ORB Show. Oh yeah, I guess I had some funny observations about it. Like, yeah, it was funny how like I thought it was kind of borderline condescending to the average man. The idea that every guy that sees Suki, who's like a waitress, she like goes around and like talks to them, talks to her customers, and she can like read minds. Every guy's like, there's like 8 scenes that are like this already, where like she just like takes an order, and then a guy's like, he's like, yeah, I'll take a Budweiser, and then in his head he's like, and some of that fat ass, like, yeah, I'll have the fish and dips, and then you can butter me up, girl. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Men don't think like that, If we're like horny, even, like, I don't think the average guy is going over there with complete confidence in his brain, just being like, you gonna sit on this, girl? No, they're gonna be like, oh, I hope she doesn't know I'm poor, or like, or like, oh, like, hope she thinks I look cool. What does she think about my tattoos? Or whatever. And then like, so there's that, kind of amused me. And then there was also like, I don't know, like there's so many sex scenes that like, you just sort of like watch it, and it's like they're having sex with you. You're just sort of like, when will this end? Like, I hope this ends soon. The actor's just like, yeah, oh yeah, like, I don't know, it's like so stupid. They have sex in like such a fucking loud way, like fucking on the dresser, and then they're like throwing each other on the bed, and then whatever. I don't get the point of the brother in the show. Suki has a brother who just shows up to fuck people, and then his like main problem is that he's trying to get laid. But he has sex with everybody. And what's weird is that the actor, like, he's supposed to be like a guy who's like drinking and stuff like that, but he's also supposed to be attractive. But the actor is like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, he's way too fucking yoked. It's like he's like water fasting, and it doesn't make any sense. He should be like a drunk type of fun, guy. You shouldn't be like a guy who's like literally looks like you're training for like fucking Mr. Olympia or whatever. Not that he's like, like roided out. It's just like it's like, it's just like, it's weird. It's like he's not fucking eating or something. It's way too, like stretched skins, sort of like, superhero-ish shit. Whatever. So that was weird. I also thought it was weird that in the show, like, yeah, it's pretty funny when like the vampires would get their fangs out. They'd be like, yeah, well, we'll just have to talk about that later. Maybe I'll kill you. Like, it gives the actors a lisp. It's so funny. Like, they're trying to be like intimidating. Like, come around this part of town again and you stuck around Thuckatash or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, so that was funny. But yeah, beyond that, I don't know. I'm just done with that show. watched like 3 episodes, and I don't think I got much out of it. Yeah. Oh, also in the news, ICE tear gassing babies or something. Like tear gassing like elementary schools or something. Like, why are you doing that? It's weird. It's like, this is a government psyop. Are you trying to make me believe? Are you trying to make us like fucking like resist you or something? Like, what's going on? Why is this so like egregiously stupid and evil? You know, it's not even effective. It's just like, it's like theater. You know, like, I mean, unless there really are that many stupid and sociopathic people who are willing to join ICE. I was wondering for a while, why would Hispanics join ICE? And I think I read a study that showed that pretty much it's money. You know, you have people who are like be willing to like kind of sell out their own or whatever. You'll be willing people to just do anything for money. There's always someone who's like afraid enough to compromise. This is why it's important that you live a life where you're not fearful, where you're courageous. Fearful people are always the people who betray people. They're always the people who hurt people. Well, not always. Of course, anyone can hurt people. But, you know, like, if you think about it, like, the worst person in your life is either someone who has, like, no fear because they're, you know, a sociopath or something, or someone who, or a narcissist or something, or someone who has, like, an intense fear, who I guess is also a narcissist in a way. You know, those people who are just, like, are so afraid of not being the best or looking good or something that they'll fucking attack people. I remember, like, oh, whatever, I'm not going to talk about that. But, yeah. This is why it's important that, like, as people, we live in a way where we're actively taking care of and regulating, like, our emotions, ourself. It's the best thing you can do for other people. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. Just find a way to live where you're not amping yourself up. Oh my God, sorry. Or letting yourself get amped up by externalities. Because at the end of the day, I mean, what happens happens. You can't really pretend that you exert like too much you know, too much control, I suppose. Although to some extent you can. Yeah. Trying to think of what else. The more important thing to focus on is, I guess, like, your reactions to things. For example, you can take a negative thing and go internal and focus on yourself. I've been writing about this with Weekly Orb, so this might be redundant. But it's important that you live in a way where you focus on your virtues as things that connect you to others and things that grow you. It's important that you don't isolate yourself within your own mind, whether that be through a virtue or a defect or something like that. You need to, like, kind of work out a social element to your so-called self-development. Evolution is self-improvement, some would say, but I don't know. It's more self-evolution, I would say. Improvement makes it seem like a little bit too, I don't know, like perfection-based. But I think, like, a lot of times nowadays we focus too much on, like, things like stoicism and things that, like, kind of put people in a mindset of just thinking about themselves or isolating themselves. That's sort of one thing that I don't totally like about stoicism, is that it's a slave philosophy from Epictetus when he was a slave, you know, and then developed by and popularized by Aurelius and all these other people. But you know, it's a philosophy that um, really kind of just hardens you to like accept the facts and um, not like hurt yourself by wanting to make changes on the externalities. But the thing is, we have to and we can do that. And it's almost like a form of, I don't know, I want to say giving up to fully go into that sort of mindset. Especially because like you have a responsibility to social change if you see a problem in your environment. You can't just like be okay with slavery and let yourself off the hook on that. Like, if you're Marcus Aurelius and you're the emperor, you can find a way to fix things or change things up. It's actually pretty annoying to like think that like your emperor was like, oh, there's nothing I can do. Like, come on, dude. Like, okay, you can accept the nature of things, but like, you decide the nature of things for like so many people. You can't have that philosophy as a leader. But yeah, what was I saying? It's important to have a philosophy that breathes and lives through yourself and through your society, through people. You don't have to always be trying to change things. There's some things that you can't change in people or whatever. Some things that aren't your responsibility. But you do have plenty of impetus to give it a shot. I think everyone does. And it's rewarding to know you've at least tried, at least for the development of your own virtue. I'm not sure if people really care about virtue as much as I do, though. I don't know. Oh my god. I don't know. What am I eating is making me like burp all the time. What else was I thinking of? Something about philosophy, Picticus. Yeah, but the thing about Stoicism is I think it's ultimately like focuses too much on your own emotions, your own feelings. You need to have a philosophy that kind of like breathes beyond you, or rather expands your focus beyond yourself. The whole thing is like basically just like, I don't know, like moderation, emotional moderation in a way, or cognitive moderation. In a way, it's kind of like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. CBT is like, it's like what is it? Catch it, change it, check it, or catch it, check it, change it. You like catch something, a thought that you find to be false, or causes you an upset. You check it, see whether it's verifiably or otherwise accurate, and then you change it to be accurate. So basically, it's just cognitive moderation. If you're not familiar with it. But yeah, it's it's helpful if you've like been through trauma and stuff like that. But at a certain point, you need to move beyond these modes. Continue to grow as people. One thing that I've been thinking about recently was this interview with Mr. Rogers' wife. Mr. Rogers is so well known for being like this really nice guy. His wife, went out after that movie released to say like, okay, he wasn't a saint. Like, he worked really hard. Like his kindness wasn't like, being born that way or something. It was, to an extent, it's his personality, how it's expressed. But it was part of his like, his ministry. It was part of his like religious belief. He was just a very principled guy, and he believed in, he believed in caring for others, and he believed in like making that part of his way, making it part of his life. And I think people need to take that more seriously nowadays, like caring for each other. There's so many opportunities to be kind to each other, and we get lost sometimes in the ego or, our own separate hurts or perspectives. And it's not necessary to isolate yourself into yourself all the time. Um, you might have to deal with it sometimes. It might be natural, but it's not going to help you grow very much if you're stuck in that mindset. Um, but yeah, that was interesting to me. Um, because I'm really big on like trying to be kinder, being kind to people. Uh, Especially growing up with a household that was like full of just mean people. Sometimes, um, you kind of like feel a strong desire to be contrary to that, and especially in this world sometimes where people are just kind of like whatever. Feel strong desire to be contrary. And I don't want to be contrary in the way that like I'm online being cruel to people or like talking shit or trying to humiliate someone or make them lose their job or something. I want to be kind in the way that you know offers opportunities and chances and forgiveness and growth. Um, like I was saying earlier, your philosophy is not always in just how you think, but also in how you react. And you can choose to make things brighter. You can choose to make things good. Um, yeah. Uh, and if not good, just at the very least, like to finish that Mr. Rogers anecdote, um, have a larger perspective about people. But his wife said that like she might go out and like see a mechanic who's misogynistic to her, and she'd go home and tell him the story, and she'd be kind of annoyed because he wouldn't like be mad at the mechanic too with her, but he'd try to like reframe it into being like, okay, yeah, but you don't really know like what happened to that guy earlier in the day or earlier in his life. Um, so like let's just like try to like hold some space to be forgiving and decent to them. It almost helps if you just like believe in magic and you just believe that it matters, that it makes a big difference on like the world or whatever, to have thoughts that are um, well-wishing for people. A lot of times, like the best thing about a situation you could say is like, okay, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. I'm glad that like person who was rude to me was just rude to me the once, and I can move on from it. Um, but it also makes sense to like as a human being to think maybe, okay, maybe it makes a difference within me to be the type of person who doesn't like hold grudges or try to be cruel, but respects myself and humanity enough, um, and its potential for growth, to just like say, okay, well, I hope that guy learns to be polite to people, or I hope the way I responded kind of sets a boundary with people and kind of shows him to like chill out. Yeah, I gotta stop flip. Oh, whatever. um, yeah. Trying to think of what else. The Orb Show's got to get more content. I have to start planning this stuff out. I just had like a basic outline. Like I talk about True Blood, and I didn't think of anything else. Um, there's something else I thought was funny. They had like all the sex was funny. I thought the brother was pointless. Suki was weird. It's just really weird seeing an early HBO show and just how far the production quality has changed. Because it looks kind of rough. And the acting and the writing's sort of weird too. Suki's a very strange character. Doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, she's like virginal and like, you know, innocent and kind and stuff. Then it's like people get like murdered and stuff. She's just like, oh, okay. Like, she doesn't have like a conscience, or she just move on from it. You know, like, even if the guy was trying to kill you, like, you should have like some form of, you know, maybe trauma from that, instead of just being like, God, I'm so horny. And like, it's funny that like the vampires, I don't want to like make fun of the show, but it's just funny how the whole thing is about sex. And it's like, you know, you drink my blood, you're gonna be horny for a while. Like, why? Vampires are already about like, you know, a form of like penetration. There's already subtext there. You don't have to like bring it to the forefront like this. It's a lot of like vampire stuff out there that just like goes straight for the throat. Let's see, I want to put in like until 40 here, so I have a couple more things to say. The Orb. I guess I could talk about the Orb. So the Orb is basically probably not going to be part of this in a big way until I get a home base, so to speak. Right now, traveling, it's hard to feel the desire to like edit something, put like my voice in as the Orb or whatever. It's a good idea to just like kind of like get used to this filming and whatever. Just talking. I mean, you know, it's a podcast. Like, at the end of the day, you're watching this because you just have time to kill, and you think there's something interesting to what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. ORB Show. You see behind me, it's like fogged out to hell. So I don't know where I'm gonna drive today. Sky's as light as a sheet of paper. Well, I guess that's it. I guess I'm tired today. Maybe I should take a nap. I like wake up at like 3 a.m. all the time. 3:33 a.m. I'm getting numerology. Great. I just farted on the Orb. Fuck. I consider that a massive sign of disrespect, frankly. Can't fart in the fucking Orb. Yeah, so thanks for joining the ORB Show. Do me a favor and take a nap after this or during it. You know, I'll do some asthma for you. Hopefully that excites you. Hopefully this helps you relax. You can imagine I'm like, I don't know what this would be. Imagine I'm putting beetles on you or something. You know, whatever. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for joining the ORB Show. Bye.